World Children's Day is UNICEF's annual day of action for children by children, marking the adoption of the Convention on the Rights of the Child. Children's rights are human rights, but in too many places today, children's rights are under attack. On World Children's Day, space is created for children and young people to raise their voices on the issues that matter to them. By prioritizing children's rights and participation, a better future is definite for all. World Children's Day was first established in 1954 as Universal Children's Day and is celebrated on 20 November each year to promote international togetherness, awareness among children worldwide, and improving children's welfare. Since 1990, World Children's Day also marks the anniversary of the date that the UN General Assembly adopted both the Declaration and the Convention on Children's Rights. 2023 witnessed Ministry of Public Service, Labor and Social Welfare in conjunction with UNICEF hosting the event in the border town of Beitbridge. The event was meant to highlight the right of every child to quality education. More than 1,000 children gathered at Malala Primary School to celebrate the rights of the children, together with the guest of honor, Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Honorable Retired General Dr. C.G.N. Chiwenga. Malala Primary School learners were thrilled to have the event hosted at their school and were not shy to show their knowledge of their rights.
Rights in Siyawan or Skoro, Inenda Divan, the right to shelter. My name is Indra Panash. Today we are celebrating Children's Day. On Children's Day, we celebrate the rights of children. Children have a right to be loved.
This year, World Children's Day ran under the theme, For Every Child, Every Right. The theme this year is simple. It seeks to ensure that every child is afforded their rights. It promotes a children's rights approach when looking at human rights and implores states, guardians, and parents to see children as right bearers and not merely objects to protect. With inclusivity in mind, Zimbabwe focused on the right to education for its celebrations.
This year's World Children's Day takes on an even greater significance as we witness children and young people raising their voices on various pressing issues. Our children are demanding that adults work towards creating a better future for them. Our children are calling on leadership to address challenges such as climate change, education, mental health, racism, and discrimination. It is vital we listen to their ideas, their demands, and work together to take these challenges. This year's celebration focuses on the right to education and closely aligns to the African Union Year of Education.
Comprehensive, the most inclusive, and the most useful tool to ensure that all the rights of children are realized. And for us as UNICEF, this is our guiding principle in everything that we do. So every year, everywhere, with every children, we celebrate the 20th of November as the World's Children's Day.
The border town and its surrounding areas do not receive local radio and television signals. The junior president lamented this state of affairs because the children in the area are not able to access radio and television listens.
Access to radio, TV, and phone networks is limited here, with most communities fully adapted to the South African networks. It therefore means that children in these isolated areas do not have access to opportunities offered in Zimbabwe, such as the important radio lessons, developmental news items broadcast periodically, and incapable of using helpline platforms created for protection of children. Due to isolation of our peers' programs that end up trickling to some communities here are withdrawn from the needs of the people.
Accessibility to radio and television lessons means learners will have free access to extra lessons that are normally charged by teachers. The Vice President promised to improve accessibility to radio and television extra lessons through upgrading of signal strength in the border town.
I have also listened very carefully about the challenges and problems affecting the communities here in Beitbridge and along our borders in terms of TV and radio programs which are supposed to be part of the education to our communities by the government, but because of the ICT here, they cannot receive. We've given priority through the Minister of ICT to make sure that the entire country is covered by our TV and radio programs.
As our nation celebrates World Children's Day, the formal education aspect is under threat as young people are falling victim to use of drugs and substance abuse. Drop in grades and academic performance, inability to concentrate or retain information, decreased performance on tasks that require executive functioning, skipping school or other related activities, and dropping out of school completely are some of the signs that students may be engaging in drug and substance abuse. The Vice President assured the gathering that the government is fighting against this scourge to ensure that children's accessibility to education is not hampered by drug and substance abuse.
Drugs and substance abuse is an issue of serious concern to the government of Zimbabwe, which, if left unattended to, will cause untold damage to the lives and livelihoods of the young people of Zimbabwe. This reality is not lost on our child parliamentarians, who have highlighted the issue on several occasions. To urgently tackle the issue, government has set up an inter-ministerial committee to formulate strategies and coordinate responses to the issues of drug and substance abuse in Zimbabwe. We cannot allow the future of our children to be stolen by the scourge of drug and substance abuse.
World Children's Day regional celebrations in Southern Africa for 2023 were first held in Namibia on the 19th of November. Countries that attended are Zambia, Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was represented by Vice President Kembo Mohadi and the Junior President Neville Mavu.
On the 18th, we did a march as the 4 countries, because there were 4 countries which are Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So we did a march, and we were holding big banners, we were holding our flags during the march. At the main event, we engaged with our heads of state. The president of Zimbabwe was represented by the Vice President Kembo Mohadi. Then the president of Zambia was represented by a minister from Zambia. Then the Botswana president and the Namibian president was there. Then we engaged with our heads of state. We told them what was troubling us as children, what is troubling us as children, and they also managed to respond. And we saw that from the responses, we have the support of our government.
The government of Zimbabwe has made great strides to ensure that all children have accessibility to formal education. Orphans and vulnerable children often fail to attend lessons because they cannot afford the school fees. The government of Zimbabwe has put in measures and regulations to ensure that these children go to school. Programs like BEAM stand out as being progressive. The British ambassador to Zimbabwe, Mr. Peter Valls, commended Zimbabwe for ensuring that all children access education.
The government has done a good job on gender, particularly reducing some of the recent policies, such as the basic education assistance module to get girls into school. And in 2022, the government's work on disability, introducing a rigorous way to identify children with disabilities, now identify 140,000 pupils with disability into the system. This is a really great start, and encourage people across Zimbabwe to continue working, keep looking for the drivers of exclusion, and keep focusing on inclusion. And I'd like to conclude by expressing UK solidarity. We are here with you. Tiri Pamwe Chete. We want to support the country's plans. We want to support to get more girls and marginalised children to school. Over the last 11 years, the UK has invested over £250 million, so about $330 million in education as the single, I think now, bilateral donor to the education, working with colleagues from UNICEF and others.
World Children's Day promotes international togetherness, awareness among children worldwide, and is geared towards improving children's welfare. His Excellency Junior President Neville Mavu commented on the significance of the day to young people.
So as children, we want to continue celebrating our lives. We want to continue celebrating our rights. So we should know that as Zimbabwe, we are focusing on inclusive education on our National World Children's Day commemorations.
Ka organization iyati ya World Children's Day ndiyapfesesa ngamanda uri vana vakuva vachitenderwa uri vaambe zvahanwani, vaambe zvine vachenya. I, as the junior mayor, I am a representative of my students. I am the voice of the voiceless. Ngauri asi road that rine rakona uamba zvine rachenya. Dzimwe kachipinga rinyaga uri ribudze konani dzashu, and konani dzashu dzakwanisa uri tusa. That's why I am the junior mayor. I am a friend to somebody, and when somebody tells me what is bothering him or her, then I can be the voice of that voiceless child.
As the minister, I believe this is the day to speak for those without a voice. And personally, I believe this is the day that children get to voice their opinions. It's not every day that a girl gets the chance to speak about their opinions, or children get the chance to be in front of the vice president and speak about their opinions. This is a chance that every child should get. And I'm really proud to be here, to be the one to speak for those without a voice, because it's truly an honor to speak for them.
According to UNICEF, World Children's Day is a day for children, by children. The day is designed to put a spotlight on key issues affecting children, from ending childhood abuse and violence and their protection to ensuring children's rights to an education, to play, to healthcare, and to have a voice that is heard. This year, Beitbridge was painted blue and children participated. We have hope that concerns raised will be answered and corrected so that Zimbabwe has a better tomorrow. In the border town, the day ended with the lightening of the Beitbridge border post as a call for the continued attention for the rights of children.
My message to the Zimbabwean children is that we should never give up hope. Now we are assured that we have the support of our Zimbabwean government. So as the Zimbabwean government is supporting us, we should know that nothing is not achievable. Everything is achievable. So never give up and don't lose hope.